The cozy diner on the corner bustled with morning customers as the scent of freshly brewed coffee filled the air. A young mother, visibly exhausted and holding her small child in her arms, hesitantly stepped inside. Her clothes were worn, her hair unkempt, and she carried a fragile sense of hope in her tired eyes. She approached the counter, carefully setting her child down in a chair before scanning the menu. The waitress, a woman with a sharp expression and an air of arrogance, sneered at her presence. "Are you planning to order something, or just taking up space?" she scoffed, folding her arms. The mother hesitated, reaching into her pocket to count her few crumpled bills. Before she could speak, Keanu Reeves, sitting at a nearby booth with his coffee, noticed the scene unfolding. He watched as the mother nervously asked for something small, her voice barely above a whisper. The waitress rolled her eyes, tapping her foot impatiently. "We don't serve free meals here, lady," she said harshly, turning away without taking her order. Keanu placed his coffee down, his jaw tightening. He had seen enough. Keanu Reeves stood up and walked towards the counter. The mother looked down in embarrassment, while the child clung to her, sensing her distress. The waitress barely acknowledged Keanu, her attention still fixed on dismissing the struggling mother. "Hey," Keanu said calmly, his voice carrying authority without anger. "That woman is trying to order. You should treat her with the same respect you give every customer." The waitress scoffed, barely looking at him. "Sir, we have a standard here. If she can't afford to pay, she shouldn't be here." Keanu raised an eyebrow, pulling out his wallet. He laid a crisp $100 bill on the counter. "Now she can pay. Bring them whatever they want," he said firmly. The entire diner grew silent as eyes turned toward the unfolding situation. The mother looked up in shock, her eyes welling up with tears. The waitress hesitated before snatching up the money. "Fine," she muttered. "What do you want?" But Keanu wasn't finished yet. The mother hesitantly placed an order, still overwhelmed by Keanu's kindness. As she took a seat with her child, Keanu sat across from them. "What's your name?" he asked gently. "Sarah," she replied, wiping her eyes. "And this is Emma." The little girl peeked from behind her mother, staring at Keanu with wide, innocent eyes. Keanu smiled. "Nice to meet you both. What brings you here today?" Sarah hesitated, then sighed. "I lost my job 2 months ago. We were evicted last week. I'm trying to find work, but it's hard with Emma." Keanu listened attentively, nodding. The food arrived, but before Sarah could eat, the waitress dropped the plates onto the table with an annoyed huff. "There. Happy now?" she sneered. Keanu slowly turned his head towards her, his expression unreadable. The waitress shifted uncomfortably under his gaze. "You might want to rethink how you treat people," he said, his voice calm but firm. The manager of the diner, noticing the growing tension, finally intervened. "What's going on here?" he asked, walking over. Keanu looked up. "Your waitress refuses to serve customers with basic decency," he said plainly. The manager turned to the waitress, his expression darkening. "Is this true?" The waitress hesitated, then scoffed. "She can't even afford food," she muttered. "She shouldn't be here." The manager sighed. "That's not how we treat people here," he said firmly. "Take off your apron and leave." The waitress's eyes widened. "What? You're firing me over this?" Keanu watched silently as the reality sank in for her. "This isn't about one mistake," the manager continued. "It's about the kind of person you choose to be." The waitress, now pale, huffed and stormed out of the diner. Keanu turned back to Sarah, offering her a reassuring smile. As the waitress disappeared from sight, Keanu reached into his pocket and pulled out a business card. "I know someone who runs a community shelter," he told Sarah. "They help people get back on their feet. If you're interested, I can make a call for you. Sarah's lips trembled. I don't know what to say, she whispered. Keanu smiled. Just say you'll take care of Emma. Everything else will work itself out. The little girl tugged on Keanu's sleeve. Thank you, mister, she said softly. He ruffled her hair playfully. The other customers in the diner, who had been silent spectators, now erupted into applause. Someone even covered the bill for Sarah's meal. Keanu simply nodded, finished his coffee, and left without another word. That day, an act of kindness changed lives, and those who witnessed it would never forget the moment Keanu Reeves taught the world what true humanity looked like. If this story inspired you, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more heartwarming stories.